All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Friday, March 15th, 2024. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Oh, doing pretty good. Hey, Glenn. Yeah, it was pretty rough around here. Luckily, we was how far is Selma from here? 10 minutes.
If that, like maybe 6-7 miles.
Yeah, got hit real bad, and of course Winchester also got hit pretty rough too. But so far, last I seen reported, nobody had died, so that's a good thing. Hopefully that maintains. You know, definitely some injured.
Yeah, I saw a picture. Of course, I don't know if with the way shit is, it's hard to know how real some pictures are, but it was supposed to be a Taco Bell in Winchester, and the only thing that was left was the drive-through sign.
Yeah,
the building was just level.
Yeah, I seen some pictures.
Yeah, Glenn saw it. Yeah,
yeah.
So the Taco Bell got, the only thing that you could see was just that little sign. Everything else was just level.
I don't know how much. I heard Walmart had a gas leak. I heard it blew some doors off. I don't know if anybody was injured there. Yeah, it was pretty rough, and I know there's some pictures that people showed us. Selma was some areas was pretty level too.
Yeah, I know. I was out, and it started to get real dark here, and you could, and then the wind started to pick up, and then lightning like crazy. I mean,
yeah,
and so I started to head back to the house, and right as I started to head back to the house, that's when got the notification on your phone about a tornado warning here for us. Yeah. And I got home right before before it cut loose, like rain wise, and really got even windier. But yeah, it was especially for this early in the year, pretty bad storm.
Yeah, we got some family, close to that Selma area that was real close to could have had a house get leveled. That was pretty close to him.
Oh,
luckily.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah,
it took out the baseball fields and everything. I don't know how it didn't take out his house. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, he's right there. So luckily, he was one of the fortunate ones. I lived through 1974, and if I remember, it was April 1st. That I forget how many tornadoes hit Indiana, but there was a ton. I mean, it was a one hell of a day. I can remember going to Garfield Elementary and having to go down into the basement, and then coming home, and then more storms hit. It was just nuts. I'm pretty sure it was April 1st. Well, Chris, let's talk a little NFL real quick. What do you think about the? What do you think what the Chargers are doing? Is it just because you got a new regime in and they want us to get some salary cap and they're going to basically? It looks like they're almost kind of starting over to a degree. I mean, they get rid of 2 receivers and a running back.
I don't think it's really the new regime. So they're trying to get rid of people. It's their salary cap problem. They paid all these people, paying Mac and Bosa. You had Allen Williams. They had the other defensive player that kept getting hurt there for a while. They were paying a lot. I think this is just some of the stuff they were like with Keenan Allen. They tried to keep him. Bosa and Mac both restructured their deals, took a little bit less. Mm-hmm. They tried to do that with Keenan Allen. He told them no. So I think they were hoping to be able to only really lose Mike Williams and then keep Allen, but I get Allen wasn't going to restructure his deal. But I think it's mainly salary cap, and I think the reason you see what like they end up keeping the defensive guys is there's a lot of receivers and a lot of what people think are going to be good receivers in the draft this year. It's a heavy receiver draft, so they're going. Plus, they have a couple young guys. They have that Johnston that they just got, and then there's another young guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. So they have them 2 young guys.
They had another receiver. I can't think of besides Johnson. I know who you're talking about. It was pretty good. Yeah, when he was
only been playing a year or two. So I think they're going to try to go with them, and then they're going to
try to draft.
Probably draft a guy. I knew there was going to be some changes there, but they lost Eckler too.
Who's going to be the running back?
They brought in what's his name? Edwards.
Okay.
And they're going to try to run the ball, so run the ball as well. I think they'll be better. I think they're going to be better this year than they were last year. A lot of that is because of the coaching, but I mean, it's going to take them. It's going to take them probably a year or two to get where Harbaugh wants to be because of the salary cap issues, and then bringing in guys that they want as well.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. Keenan Allen's a very good receiver. So is Williams.
Getting older,
but not only that,
and hurt
all the time. I mean, they're getting older, and he was hurt when it was younger. So I mean, they hadn't been. In a way, because of the injuries, they probably wasn't worth the money they were getting paid.
And if you think about it, how many
say that? I'm not trying to put nobody down.
How many times over the last 2 seasons have both of them been on the field together at the same time?
Not very many games. Another thing I had down. One thing about the Chiefs getting Marquise Brown, I think that's a pretty good pickup for them.
It's a good pickup for him. I would agree with kind of what Nick Wright said. He's not a great player, but he's a good player. And he adds another element because of his speed, a guy that can go deep.
Let me ask you this. Could a guy like Mahomes elevate him?
I mean, I think he could elevate him some, but
I'm not saying he'll make him great, but he could go from a guy that's getting 40 receptions to 80 receptions.
But I think he'll help the Chiefs. I mean, especially you're getting them on a cheap deal, 1-year deal, not paying them, I think, $8 million, $7 million, something like that. So you're not paying them a whole lot of money. But to me, it gives them another legitimate guy to put on the other side of Reed. Plus, it gives you a deep threat. You had that with Scantling, but Scantling, dude's always been able to run deep and get open, but you never know if he's going to catch the ball. And Brown had shown flashes. He's never played with a quarterback at the level of Mahomes either. So, no, I think it's a good pickup for them. I'm kind of frustrated. All these receivers are going, and the Colts haven't made one damn move to try to get better.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get better at the receiver.
A receiver or tight end, but I think they're going to draft somebody. I'm hoping they try to make a move up, but I'm not holding my breath on it. But I'd love to see them move up and get Harrison.
I see a lot of people, and of course, who knows about projections, but a lot of people project them to take a cornerback.
I could see him maybe taking a corner.
I've seen a few said receiver too, but
because corner is one of the positions that we're weak at, or defense. But I think receiver would be. I would rather see a receiver, but
yeah,
I understand if they do take a corner.
I'd be ecstatic if they got Harrison or that Arduze from Washington. Either one of them, especially. Well, I of course want Harrison because of the connection, but Arduze's pretty damn good too.
And yeah, and that other guy, that Neighbors, is good. There's quite a few.
Hey, the Bears coming to the Colts this year. Also, I was going to ask you about the Steelers giving up on Pickett trading. What do you think about that?
I thought they'd probably at least keep him there as either backup or maybe behind Wilson because you don't know how long you're going to have Wilson. But I also heard that I guess after they made the move to get Wilson that Pickett had told him that he would rather move on. So that might have been part of it. Maybe they figured if he don't want to be here no more, well, let's go ahead and cut ties. But
the thing of it is, he's in a worse situation in Philadelphia, don't you think? I mean, because Wilson may just be there a year in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that kind of thinking don't make a whole lot of sense because, I mean, I wouldn't think I think Jalen Hurts, even if he has a bad year this year, they'd give him at least another year before. But you never know either. With Philadelphia, they'll move on from people quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody went crazy about Hurts basically 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
But this season, wasn't bad, but he wasn't. Why everybody was making him out to be the year before. And if you look at his career, he's basically had he's had 3 okay years and 1 great year.
Yeah, you're right. And not in his defense, but the whole team wasn't the same. Offense, defense, everything was down.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it was all him. I'm just saying he hasn't been consistent. He hasn't consistently played at that high level yet.
Well, I mean, I think that should go to show you that how much offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators can mean. They lost both of those, and they went down.
Yeah, I don't know what all happened there. That whole situation didn't make a whole lot of sense. So, I understand. I mean, yeah, it's going to make a difference, but it shouldn't shouldn't destroy your team like it did. I mean, a lot of these coaches. To me, that's more an indictment on the head coach than anything, because you see a lot of these teams like Sean McVay. How many defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators have he lost since he's been with the Rams? And yeah, the Rams haven't always been in the Super Bowl, but they've always been pretty competitive. And I mean, you haven't seen them just fall apart, kind of like what the Eagles did. I mean, you can look at a lot of teams. Chiefs, Andy Reid. How many of his coaches have moved on? You know what I mean?
But San Francisco, and I thought they had a pretty good year. I mean, hell, it's Super Bowl, but then they run a new defensive coordinator. They lose the Super Bowl, they fired his ass, and I don't think it was his fault they lost that game.
I don't think he was. I just don't think he was a good fit.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, well, even that's a good example too, because in the last 4 years, they've lost. Shanahan's lost his defensive coordinator. He lost. Saleh coaches the Jets. Then DeMeco Ryans replaces him. Then he loses DeMeco Ryans to go be the coach of Houston. You know what I mean? And they haven't really fell off. So that's what I mean. To me, it's kind of be an indictment on the head coach that not being able to keep things together when things change. I do agree with it. Also, I mean, we saw what Steichen done when he came to Indy, and with a backup quarterback and not the best roster, and should have been in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Glenn says, "Have no fear, Joe Flacco's here." I like the Flacco pickup as a backup. I mean, after you lost Minshew, I think Flacco's a good pickup, especially with having a young quarterback starting.
Yeah, I agree. And I just hope Richardson can pan out. I think if he can stay healthy, he will. I just worry about the way he plays if he can stay healthy.
I think he'll be all right. I think that shoulder was more. He didn't get it repaired right when he hurt it a couple years ago in college or whatever. He never got it repaired right. So hopefully that'll help with that. But yeah, he has to be a little smarter. Like he got that one concussion because he let up at the end zone and didn't protect himself.
I'm beginning to think maybe the Bears are going to keep Fields. What do you think? I mean, I think they're going to draft Williams, but I think they're going to keep Fields. Unless the right offer comes along.
I think that's the problem. Is there aren't hardly any offers.
Well, right now, but you can't keep them now, and then about quarter way through the season or halfway through the season or whatever.
Yeah,
somebody loses somebody or somebody's not panning out.
They can maybe do that.
Like you said, there's offers. The offers ain't there right now.
As fucking soft as Caleb Williams came off some, hell, it might throw him into a damn temper tantrum or crying fit if they keep Fields because he might be scared that he's not going to be the starter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, his mind,
the way his psyche's kind of been. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, that might cause problems with him. Yeah, that'd be the only way they're going to get more for Fields is if they would hold on to him and then somebody was get hurt or somebody needed something to. He hasn't been Fields hasn't been great, so I kind of see why there hasn't been. I thought somebody would probably give him a chance, but I didn't think there was going to be as big a market as like you heard all these guys on TV talk about how big of a market there would be for him. I didn't think there would be that big a market for him because what is he, 12-28 or something as a starter? I mean, he hasn't performed well. You can say that the Bears didn't put enough around him, didn't do this, do that, but we don't use that excuse for all these other quarterbacks that come in and then kind of get moved on from.
I think Wilson,
are we making that excuse for Pickett?
Yeah, you're right. I think Wilson coming out hurt his chances. I think if Wilson would have stayed in Denver or something,
and that's the other thing. Plus that, well, then you had, I think, you had Wilson, Kirk Cousins moving. I mean,
Kirk Cousins the man. He's the man. As far as getting money.
Oh yeah, when it comes to contracts,
we'll see if he could become a man about winning a playoff game.
Yeah, but that ain't all been his fault either.
No.
He's lost a lot of playoff games where that offense put up 30 points and the defense couldn't hold the other team. Not even just playoff primetime games that people give him hell about. He's played well in some of those games that he's lost.
I don't know. I mean, I know he's not played great, but I think he gets too much blame. Fields does sometimes because the Bears team's not been very good either. But we'll see. He needs to move on somewhere.
But here's for example. I can't remember exact record, but I'm pretty sure Mitchell Trubisky had a winning record in his 3 or 4 years that he was with the Bears. That wasn't good enough. You boot him out. He's had a losing record. Nobody wanted Trubisky when he left the Bears, and hardly. I mean, he went to Pittsburgh, didn't really get much of a chance. But then everybody thought there was going to be a big market for Fields. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me because if you look at, Trubisky put up better numbers than what Fields did.
You're right.
I think Fields has potential. I'm not saying he don't have some potential. He's going to end up somewhere as a backup probably, and then.
What do you think Minnesota's going to do? Who's going to be their quarterback? I mean, I know they went and got Darnold, but
they're trying to move up in the draft. I think they're going to try to move up high in the draft. They did just traded some picks. I forget with who now. And got another first round pick. Now they have like 10 or 11 picks in the first few rounds of the draft this year. A lot of people think they're going to try to maybe move up, maybe toward the top 10 and get a quarterback.
Maybe get a Daniels or Gardner or there's 5 or 6 Nicks.
So I think that's what they're biggest plan is, and then they brought in. Did they bring in Darnold?
Yep.
Brought in Darnold, probably figuring he at the worst will maybe start at the beginning, start maybe 1 year if that, or if you get a guy and he and you think he's ready, then you have a backup.
Yep.
But at worst, they might try to use him as a bridge quarterback for a year, depending on who they do draft. If you move up and draft somebody high, you might start them. But if you draft a guy late, late first, second round, you might let them sit for a while.
Did you see where Dallas thought that Moss?
And the other thing about Darnold, I'm not saying Darnold would be good, but one thing that does help, that the offensive systems that they run are similar because O'Connell's from that Shanahan McVay tree.
What do you think about Dallas saying that Moss, what he was wanting, which was only like $4 million a year, something like that, was too much money?
Yeah.
What the hell?
That didn't make no sense to me.
Now I heard it looks like Zeke might be going back, and he's probably going to get more than $4 million. What the hell?
I don't know what Dallas is doing there
right now.
Two seasons or at the end of last year, all they talked about was how they want. All Mark McCarthy talked about was how they wanted to run the ball more. And then you get put out this year early in the playoffs. And now you don't have a running back. So it's you have one, but he's a short guy that.
Hey, don't talk about short guy.
Hey, he's not a very big guy. I don't know if I'd want to give him the ball 30 times a game.
No,
try to run the ball.
I think he's a very talented.
I think he's
guy.
a good player.
But no, he couldn't run the ball. He can run the ball 20 times. Hell, he'd be dead.
He's a great guy for like a 1-2 punch. You have your main back, and you have him as your changeup back. I think because he is explosive and can make some plays, but I just don't think he's like a 25. I think if you try to give him the ball 25, 30 times a game, good chance is he's going to get hurt.
I think Moss would have been a great pickup for Dallas. I don't.
Yeah, I was hoping Moss would stay with the Colts.
Yeah, I was too. Do you think? Do they really think Zeke's better than Moss? I don't. Not this time. Not now.
Yeah, I don't think he is at this stage of the game.
I guess the Colts think that they've got the one guy that got hurt last year. Can't think of his name. One of the backups.
He was running the ball well before he got hurt. I can't think of his name either. Glenn says it's confirmed he'll be at Warrior Pro 30. And we still got a couple weeks before that could change.
Yep. Yeah, something better come along. We know that Warrior Pro is like number 10 on your list. So there must not be nothing that weekend.
He said he gonna make a "Not My President" sign. You need to get one of them pictures of Hadley and Taylor Swift together. Yep. Put on a sign. That dude kills me. I love his social media page. He's so that dude's funnier.
I don't know where he lives, but his sirens were going off at his place same time as going off here.
Oh, well, I mean, all over Indiana.
Yeah, because it was all red. I mean, it was Yeah,
I'm not sure. Crazy. I'm not sure where he lives, but it was. Yeah, I was listening to sports talk radio, and you'd listen to about a minute, and then it'd cut off and go to storm warning updates. It was all areas around us, and then you'd listen for another couple minutes, and it cut it. You could even hardly listen. It could just go boom, boom, boom. All right, how'd you do on your picks last night?
Well, 5-3. I watched Vegas last night, and I didn't pick them, but I'm really starting to worry about my Golden Knights, man. They're not playing very well.
I didn't do no hockey last night, and that was a good decision because I went 6-0.
Damn. Chris is on fire now. He got two good days in a row, isn't it?
Well, no, I had 2 good days, and then I went like 4 and 5, and then
but you're on a roll. You're getting your mojo back.
Went 2-0 in NBA and 4-0 in college basketball last night.
Yeah, I went 3-1 in college basketball. Liberty got me, but 2-2 in hockey.
Yeah, I had the Clippers they covered. The Bucks covered against the Sixers, and in college, Houston killed TCU. Hell, TCU, uh, they played 5 minutes in the second half. Yeah, they played already. Yeah, and TCU still hadn't scored 20 points in that game yet.
Yeah.
You've already you played 25 minutes and that scored 20 points.
Yeah, that's great.
Uh, Arizona beat USC pretty good. South Carolina beat Arkansas, and then Baylor killed Cincinnati. So I had a good night last night. Hopefully, do the same today.
And IU won last night. I've seen Purdue won today.
Yeah, against Michigan State.
Yep.
But it was a pretty close game, though.
67-62, I believe it was.
For a team that's supposed to be one of the best teams in the country, playing. Ball State got beat.
Oh, Glenn, he thinks by above 500 by May. He has a lot of faith in you.
Oh, I'll be there before then.
Yeah.
I'm 187 and 189. I'm only 2 games from 500 now, but yeah, I should be above 500 by, hopefully good above 500 by then.
I'm 202 and 143. But what's helped me is I do okay on hockey in college, and I stay away from the NBA. But I did pick 2 NBA games today.
I made a comeback this week. This has been one of my better weeks.
Yeah,
for a while. After last year, I was on fire.
Yeah,
man.
you didn't. You was pretty. You didn't have very many. You was usually, 2 or 3 games over 500 on your picks each day, or at the worst 500. You didn't have very many where you, were like 2 and 6. This year, you've had a lot of 2 and 6s, and
I am.
see, I like the hockey.
I'm staying away from the hockey again today. We'll see if it pays off for me.
I tell you what's helped me this year is the college basketball, and I picked these, not the big games, smaller teams, and I've done pretty well. I usually go 3-1.
Yeah, I've been doing decent in college basketball. NBA and hockey have been giving me trouble, but here this week I've been doing pretty decent in NBA.
I will say I'm not real confident in my college picks today, but we'll see.
But I only got about a week, a little over a week, and then baseball, regular season baseball be back.
You did pretty good with baseball, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you've been missing that baseball, so that'll help you.
I think baseball is one of these. I'm not going to say it's easy, but I think it's a little bit easier than some of the other sports because a lot of times a lot of times if you just go by your pitching matchups, you can you can do pretty good. Yeah, sometimes a pitcher has a bad start, but a lot of times if you can go by those pitching matchups and by how teams have. It's a sport to me also. Like, look at how a team has done their last 4 or 5 games and how they're hitting the ball, how they've been hitting the ball compared to the team they're playing, hitting the ball over the last 4 or 5 games. Because baseball's a up and down game, man. It's such a long season that teams are going to have spurts where they're going to be on fire, and they're going to have those lulls where they might lose 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah, I picked in the Colonial Conference and MAC Conference. La MAC Conference. Well, you look at my picks yesterday. I had Howard. I had I did have Ohio State, but then I had North Texas against Tulane. I had North Texas. I had Liberty, but they lost.
In the women's MAC tournament today, both the top 2 seeds got upset in the semifinals.
In the MAC, yeah. Ball State got upset.
Ball State and Toledo.
Do you think they still make the tournament or no?
I don't know, just because I don't know enough about the women's, like how deep it is. I would say probably not. I think they probably needed to win that tournament, or at least get in
the tournament
in the championship game. Yeah, they got beat. I know they were down by 11 or 12 with a couple minutes, or with less than 2 minutes left in the game. They just didn't shoot the ball good at all. From what I heard, from what I listened to on the radio, I listened a little bit on the radio earlier. I knew they said Toledo had got upset before that. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, both tournaments will be men's and women's tournament be getting ready to start. I think in Sunday when they do the tournament bracket for the men's.
Yep.
So yeah, next week. Well,
Usually right after usually the Big Ten championship,
Yep.
usually the last game.
Yep.
Usually. I don't know if it still is this year, but usually.
They usually start the playing game or whatever they call those like on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yep. Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then the regular tournament starts like on Thursday usually.
Yep, Thursday about noon.
Oh no, it just don't seem like there's as much hype this year about the March Madness as there
It doesn't.
What used always was. I remember. I mean, that's all. Maybe it'll start up Sunday when they do the bracket. But I mean, I remember this time of year. That's all everybody. I mean, anywhere you went, that's all what everybody was talking about was college. It was college basketball. I mean, everybody was talking about March Madness.
It seems like it gets hyped up pretty good once the brackets come out, man. A lot of people just watch it because of the brackets. And, I don't know.
I mean, I watch more college basketball during March Madness, but I haven't watched as much college basketball this year as I usually do. A lot of it is I don't know many of the players on the teams.
And
it's hard.
IU's not very good.
Like when I used to know every player on IU's team. It's hard to be like that anymore because they switch out so damn much. With the transfer portal and everything, how you can have five new starters, 4 or 5 new starters every season.
Yeah, and that's not a whole lot of fun. Yeah, you're right.
Tennessee got beat.
Yeah, they got killed. They got tore up.
All right, college basketball, or no, actually NBA. We'll start with the NBA tonight.
You do hockey night?
No,
there's only 2 games, but
I didn't even look at it. I just decided.
Oh, come on!
I decided I wouldn't do it. I had a good night last night with no hockey, so I decided. Yeah, no, I think Indy's a great place. For it. Let's see. Okay, I'm taking the NBA. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns at the -10.5 on the road at the Charlotte Hornets. Suns are big favorites on the money line at -520. Hornets are +400 on the money line. Over-unders at 219. So I'm going to go with the Suns at the -10.5. I'm going to take the New Orleans Pelicans at the -6. At home against the Los Angeles Clippers. Don't know if James Harden will be playing for the Clippers, and this is the second game of a back-to-back for the Clippers. And Pelicans have been playing some good basketball here as of late, especially. So I like the Pelicans at -6. And I'm going to take the Utah Jazz at the +3 at home against the Atlanta Hawks. That's going to be my 3 NBA picks for the day.
Yeah, I'm taking in my NBA picks. I'm taking Utah +3 at home against Atlanta, and then I'm taking Denver at San Antonio. I'll take Denver minus the 10.5. So that's going to be my 2 picks for the NBA.
Yeah, man, 10.5 scared me.
It's a lot.
After I'd already took the 10.5 with the Suns as well.
Denver's been playing really well, so that's the only reason.
There's they have been. There's a lot of big spreads in NBA today. College basketball, I ended up going with 4 games.
I did too.
I'm going to take UConn at the -9.5 at home against St. John's. They beat St. John's earlier in the season. I like Illinois at the -5.5 at home against Ohio State. I'm going to take Kentucky at the -5.5 at home against Texas A&M. And I'm going to take Marquette at the -4.5 against Providence.
Well, in our 4 college games, we got 2 the same. Okay, I'm starting off with Kent State money line against Bowling Green. I've got Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State and Illinois. I'll take Illinois minus the 5.5. I got Houston minus 9 against Texas Tech, and then I've got Kentucky minus 5.5 against Texas A&M. That's my college picks for tonight.
All right.
And then I'm going to do my hockey. I've got Anaheim at Winnipeg. I'll take Winnipeg money line, and I've got the Kings at the Blackhawks. I'll take the Blackhawks money line. That's my hockey picks for tonight.
All right. Well, I didn't do no hockey tonight. So I was 6-0 yesterday. That put me at 187 and 189 for the year. And hopefully have a good day today. Do you have anything else for today?
No, I think I'm good to go.
We'll be back Monday with another episode of Easy Money, a Sportsman Show. But join us Monday evening, 6:30. Owner of WCWO Wrestling and also pro wrestler JKO Joey Owens. If you watch our show, you know who he is, especially if you watch our wrestling stuff because he's in the intro video. But he's going to be on Monday evening, 6:30, talk about the Indianapolis Comic-Con coming up next weekend. WCWO will be doing shows there all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Talk about, I'm sure he's going to talk about some of the other big shows they have coming up. I know they have a lot of road shows coming up. They have one in Lebanon coming up here pretty soon. It's all cage matches. So it should be a good conversation with JKO on Monday.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to
it. Join us for that. And then next couple of weeks, we'll be having a lot of pro wrestling stuff coming out with Indianapolis Comic-Con, DCCW Bearcat Rumble, Warrior Pro Wrestling. Is it 30? I think it is.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got a lot of wrestling shows coming up. So keep your eye out. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. And we will see you guys on Monday.